Concentrating on trucking right. I heard a dog voice inside of me, and I looked round in a state of fright. I saw four faces, one man, a brother from the gutter. They looked me up and down a bit and turned to each other. I said, I don't like cricket. I love it. I don't like cricket. It was a present from their mother. She said, I like it, I want it, I'll take it out your hands and you'll be sorry. Trust me, you didn't understand that you're in love. I don't like cricket. No, I love it. I don't like cricket.
Well, welcome everyone. Welcome Bella. Let a few people get in. Tilly Mint, nice to see you. Just thought we'd, put a little live on. Just wait for a few people to come. Be nice if a few people come on the panel tonight. And that was really good. So anyway, I hope everyone's all right. Just waiting for a few to come in to see what's going on and all the rest of it. I didn't realise earlier that other people will be doing lives at around the same time, but it's okay. That happens. I'm not too bad. I've been better, been worse. Well, I say I don't know about worse, but it's what it is, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Just got to try and be positive and work through it. If you like to be nice people while you're just waiting for the chat to heat up. It was okay, It's things are a bit slow at the moment. Just trying to get a few things organised and, with these nurses striking and stuff, it makes everything slow down even more, doesn't it? So, unfortunately, that's just how it is. But I've got a lot of plans for later on in the year if everything sort of drops into place like it's meant to. So that'll be good. We just got send the link out to a couple of people. Do you know I haven't really sent it out on sort of many places, to be honest, like Instagram and stuff like that. Maybe I should. Not that I got tons of followers or tried building that up or anything, but I suppose it can help if I did that as well. I mean, I haven't really tried to build the channel. That's the thing. Even though some, I wanted a few more subs because it made the lives a bit better. That was really the aim for that. Yeah, it's all right. We sorted it out straight away, pretty much. Like men, it was just a little bit of a thing. I was annoying one person and it came out of it. But, we could have. But now, my mate Galvin is actually making the same joke. Quite funny. Don't know where he is. He's meant to be coming. But it's been a triumphant day. Because I'm an Arsenal supporter. So that's always good, isn't it? You know, when your team wins against what I think's, definitely one of the best teams going. Where especially I think they got some of the best players in Europe. Man U at the moment, I think. I mean, Rashford is absolutely world class. Probably one of the best in Europe, I'd say. So, and he performed. But it wasn't enough, was it? But it was a good game, as far as I'm aware. So, it's really good. Let me just check, see if my mate Galvin's about, because I'm not getting notifications on. Let me just do something at a moment. He's just finishing off on another channel. Yeah, it's a bit funny, to be honest. But there ain't much I can do about that. I'm going to get a stand anyway. You know? I think I'm going to get a stand because I have to hold it and then move around. And I think it's probably a bit to do with the internet as well. Yeah. Why, it's a bit like that. But I hope everyone's had a good weekend anyway. I mean, that's a bit better anyway. But I just want to check something out a moment. So I just pause my mic until our guest arrives. So I'm not exactly sure what is happening right now. It's the Arsenal, sweetie. The Arsenal's my team. Well, apparently there's a scouser on another channel and Galvin's just having a quick word with him or something, I don't know. Don't know whether any of you were ghosting that, but let's see. He's giving out a few threats, I believe, but it doesn't matter. All academic, innit? It's about, you know, getting your own thing going sorted. That's the name of the game. Any YouTube, if you got any channels or plan to do a channel or anything? Because I think more people should have a go at it. I'm not saying it's easy, but you know, I think more people should have a go at, you know, maybe doing one. Because you know, it'd just make the community better, wouldn't it? Really. Wow. Who knows? Did any of you live over that way? Tilly, Bella. I think Bella does, doesn't she? I used to love it over that way while I was working over there. It's cracking. I think quite quickly with people from Liverpool, you know what, you know, you get to know what people are like quite quickly, which is good. Oh well, you live and learn. I thought the likes of thought Eddie Gannon might have popped in. He said he might do. He's always welcome. Very, very good music. Try and encourage him to do an album. You know, even if it's just you know, like an online one or whatever. But I think a lot of his sort of clientele would probably be a lot of you know, maybe retired people, so they'd probably want CD. I reckon. I don't know what you think, but he could start off with just putting it online like that, then move to CD, I suppose. I don't know. Give me your opinions. Let's have a little look there. Because sometimes my notifications, it don't come up when there's a guest out there. So I'm not sure what is happening right now. Yeah, and it says there's a few in, so I'm not sure. So Eddie wants to swap for one. Now then, Eddie, how you doing?
What the bleeding dirty with you?
You know, thought I'd do something. Talk to a few people, maybe discuss a little bit of this and that. You know, Galvin said he's coming on, but he's just been arguing with a scout on another channel or something. I don't know.
I was in the chat. Did you not see me?
No, I only just saw it literally then.
Okay.
StreamYards is a bit kind of pokey on, you know, like where it like you'll get like a few at once on my
Yeah.
StreamYard. I usually have to have something else going and looking at the YouTube comments to get them a bit more timely. Yeah, it's like they come on YouTube quite sort of on time, you know, like reasonable time, but on StreamYards they don't really do that necessarily. It's
Mm.
you might get 3 or 4 at once, and there'd be someone there who's been there probably 5 minutes. That happens a lot with this StreamYards on this phone. I don't know why, but yeah, it tends to do that. So what you been up to? Anything good?
Yeah, I was just dealing with that other situation.
All right. Get about
It's
you.
it's it's sorted out anyway, so it's
Yeah, it's hard not to get pulled into some of these things, isn't it?
mm,
You know, like you know, even though if it's not an argument, just I don't know, a debate, if you like,
yeah.
it's still not easy to not get pulled into it, innit? In a sense. And then you have your own version, your own kind of view, and yeah, that's it. Though that's YouTube, isn't it?
I like to see two sides, you know. So
Yeah,
it's
I know that. But yeah, it's
that that would that way you'd have an independent view, you know.
yeah. So yeah, I suppose try to stay neutral a bit, but sometimes it's hard, isn't it? You know, like you're on channel there that I don't actually go on, so I don't really know the characters as such, unless there's a
Yeah.
few people that go on. Maybe some of the ones that uh, you know I go on, but yeah, there's plenty of different communities, and it's not always you know you, the same people. It's amazing how many flipping people are doing this. I mean, you quoted channels that I just don't know, you know, in the past, and Vix as well, really. And you think, wow, you know, we're being community for some time together, we kind of know, won't we?
Mm.
But I don't know. It is what it is. So, what were you saying about you had to do your you want to do the EP first?
Yeah, that's how it usually
Yeah,
works out. Like you do an EP first and then an album, you know.
yeah. That's just to test the water, isn't it? As such.
Yeah. EP an EP is like a dippy, you know. You just
Yeah,
dip, dip your foot in the water, see what happens, and then
yeah. Because that's companies doing it that way, isn't it? Where they before they invest in you know you doing a full you know studio album or whatever you know with a lot of promotion stuff like that. They
yeah,
want to see would it be successful or not. I think yours would be, especially just in Ireland. You'd make it. I'd say. You know, I
yeah,
mean, I'm not even talking like all the people that know you in America, Canada, wherever. You know, you've got big exposure on here because you don't just look at your own channel. You got to think of all them other channels
yeah.
that you could be a guest on. You know, like who
Oh
have
yeah, I
got
mean,
thousands and thousands.
I mean, there is like like music channels that I do go on to, like the conspiracy music, and then you have Canadian fishing musician, you know, like these are good people, you know.
Yeah. So I ain't actually
Like
been
I
on that
mean,
one, but
keep in mind, I've been in the music industry for about like 30 years, 33 years, you know,
yeah.
easy. So it's
Well,
like
you
I mean that's a long time in the
no, it is.
music.
You've got a big catalogue as well,
Mm,
all different eras, isn't it?
yeah,
And styles.
and it's not just cover songs that I do. I do my own as well. So
Yeah, that's it. You see, and that you know, and that'll be successful. You know, just need to get in a position where you can do that. and take it from there. Oh, you've been crawling from channel to channel, you two.
Well, I have. Yeah, I could say that. Uh,
Galvin, you've been invited. I sent you a link. I'll put it on here just to make it easier for you. Because you and Eddie can have a little chat while I just need to sort this couple of things out. I'm not having me dinner yet, though. There we go. Now then, Galvin,
Yeah. How are you, man? What's the story?
how's things?
oh,
Yeah,
so there
good.
he is.
Well, yeah. How are you, Eddie? How are you?
Not too bad. Gavin, how are you?
I'm all right, man. Yeah, good, good, good. Yeah, no, I was planning on coming on later, cool. It was just a bit of a mad thing happened on Arts. A few of the lads just managed to get on. I was off fucking trying to get my head together for the morning, and I've been up
Yeah.
there for I don't know half an hour or something. But
Now then,
uh,
Max, how you going?
yeah,
The
good.
thing
Yeah, yeah.
is what you said it was going on with a guy or something, wasn't it?
No, there was so I came in at the end of it. I came in the middle of it. It seemed like there was two or three people there. There was a bird there and a couple of lads there, and they seemed a bit pissed. And they were just I don't know. I couldn't even really
Yeah.
understand them to be
Like
honest
a
with you.
few
They
people
hadn't
on
turned,
one kind of channel.
huh?
Few people, but like going through one phone or something.
You, Jesus, you know me, cool tools. I'm fucking. I only know how to turn the computer on. I don't know how.
No, I'm saying there was like three people, but they were all talking on the
Yeah,
same.
yeah. And they
Yeah,
didn't have the
yeah,
YouTube turned
yeah,
off, so I couldn't hear half of what they said, to be honest with you. And your man
yeah.
was like fucking plastered.
Weren't
So,
they threatening certain people
well, no,
or
no, not so
inviting
much
them to come
threatening them. They
somewhere
just
where they
said,
wouldn't
"Come."
come?
No, well, they thought I was bleeding, smoking crack, and then I had to go on and
What?
show my fucking. Yeah, I had to go on and show my pupils for fuck's sake. And then,
I don't do stuff like that.
no, no, well, not now, but
I didn't know you were a teacher as well.
yeah.
You know, like you don't have to. You know, someone who's drunk like that prove nothing to him.
No, listen. I wasn't fuck. I just went down because
Yeah, just
I don't fucking like bullying of any type, man, and they
no,
were
no.
just
It's just
simple
how
pricks.
how you explain that. Then I just thought, wow,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you know, just idiots, man. Just got
yeah,
drunk and trying to amuse himself, isn't it? You know,
yeah, definitely, definitely,
that's all it is, really.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I got amused enough today myself.
You got which? Sorry,
Nice
pal.
thing to do. Yeah, I got amused plenty today.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Why?
Yeah,
What were
yeah.
you?
You know, like that was an awesome game of football.
Ah, fuck off, man.
Oh, fuck off,
Jesus.
man.
No, do you know
It's
why
the
I didn't
first time
twig
you
it?
swore at me about
I
that.
didn't. No, I didn't twig it because the other fella was saying, right, no football on tonight, and you know the way I love my football and chatting
You're
about it.
very gracious, actually, to be
No, I'm
honest.
not. I'm the worst loser going when it comes to United, and anyone who leaves United, I can't stand them. So but no, I'm not gracious because I made an idiot of myself saying they were going to win the league last week.
You was gracious earlier, I mean, when we
Oh,
had our
sorry.
conversation.
Oh, sorry, Jesus. I don't know whether you keep referring to the talks we have on the fucking phone or the talk we had
Yeah,
just two
on
minutes
when
ago.
we had our chat on the phone after the game.
Oh, yeah,
Do
yeah,
you know
yeah.
though?
Oh,
You
well, I
didn't
was,
respond once. Every little thing that happened in the game, I
yeah.
sent you a little message. You didn't
Oh,
respond once, you ignorant twat.
no, I don't because that's what happens. People just text you and annoy you. So I don't go near the phone
All
because,
right, is that how it
yeah,
is?
yeah,
No,
yeah,
all it is, I just do it at key points. I mean, God, I
yeah.
even, when you scored,
No,
kind of.
the install starts for me before I even have my breakfast in the morning when it comes to a United match. Just the crack with the
What
lads
were
in
you
the office
watching it
morning.
on?
Sky on the TV on Sky. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So, Yeah. It's just
Um,
interesting because, do you know, I really did think it would have been. It was close, but I suppose that could have happened either way, couldn't it?
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I know, but
the
I
later
was
draw.
actually, I was actually just talking to my old fella about it earlier, and he said, "Did you see the statistics?" And I didn't because I was kind of running around the place a bit. And he said, "Well, fucking Arsenal at 70% possession. So I mean, come on." And he's a Liverpool fan, but I mean, he was right.
Oh,
Like,
he's a different supporter than you.
yeah, yeah. I had two younger brothers, and I had to pay them £1 a week to support United. They were Liverpool fans. It was about 6 years and
Let me
about
tell
fucking
you,
three
you
grand.
come over here, you've got an army to
Yeah, yeah,
face. My whole family.
yeah,
You see my
yeah,
little nephew playing darts online, yeah? His
yeah.
room is all done up in Arsenal. My whole family are all Arsenal supporters. Hundreds of us.
Oh well.
We've got a good following, you know? Now then, Scouts, how you doing, serial thriller? Do you know, I don't get these bloody messages. I have to look somewhere else to get them. StreamYard's is slow. But listen, I just got to do something a second. I'll be back shortly. I'm busting for a pee.
Oh,
Eddie, do you fancy doing a quick song?
I was just thinking the
Oh,
same
well,
thing.
Pardon?
I won't do it tonight.
Okay,
I'm not
that's
feeling it tonight.
no, that's
Oh,
fine, mate. That's
all
all
right.
right.
Yeah,
I'll
fair enough.
leave you two at a moment. All right, I'll be back in a few minutes.
Grand. Okay. So how are you anyway, Eddie? How's the form?
Yeah,
Did you
yeah,
do anything for the weekend?
yeah. Not too bad. I was mostly talking with my friend from Australia. So
Oh, on the
mm,
phone
yeah.
or by
Well,
Skype or
I was
one of
through
those?
yeah the messenger. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, the reason I asked that, I had a pal there years ago, and it cost a bleeding fortune on the phone whenever he rang, so or whenever I rang. But whereabouts
Oh
in
Jesus,
Australia?
I wouldn't be fucking doing it on the phone. No way.
Yeah, yeah. Whereabouts in Australia does he come from, or is he staying?
She's in
Oh,
Melbourne.
all right. Okay, yeah. No, never been there. I believe it's great. But yeah. And is that
Uh,
is that a platonic situation?
no, it's like it's just
Playing hard to get, are you, Eddie?
yeah. But I mean, I have to consider my recent relationships.
Relationships, yeah. Glad you put in relationships there. Gives the impression you've loads of women floating around.
Mm.
And any plans on seeing her again, or is she coming over? Or are you going over? Or
She normally comes over like around the Christmas time, so like
all
that
right,
like
that's her.
you
That's
know
their. Well, yeah, that's their summertime, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it gets very hot down that
Like
neck of the woods, Melbourne.
our winter time is there, summertime, and our summertime is there. It's a weird fucking situation.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But
Have you ever been? Have you ever been there, Eddie?
oh yeah, a few times, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's a
I have
great place.
family over there,
Oh, oh.
in
So
Sydney, you know.
yeah, well, that's where I was. So, would that mean that you wouldn't have a problem getting visas? Because I had to go through. Oh, they made me jump through so many hoops. But is it because you family there that they'd sponsor you for like 6 months or something like that?
Well, you see, I mean, it's been a while since I mean, I wouldn't say fucking family again. No, no way. Like that, just
But that's just the
like
excuse to get in, is it?
no, it's just like I mean, I mean that they're not really fucking like they don't really give a shit like if I do go there or not, you know. I'm and like
That's cool, man.
I don't want to be fucking
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool, man. So you just go over and see that girl. Yeah, that's great. That's nice. You
yeah.
should if you. Yeah, don't they hold they hold the Grand Prix and the tennis in Melbourne, and they also all hold a couple of the Ashes cricket games. So
Yeah, the Australian
that's always
Open and
yeah, yeah. It's always a
things like
great
that.
a great day out. The cricket going on, just going the piss for the day. It's great watching the match. But yeah, yeah. So no other news. No, you haven't. Did you weren't out in any of the protests in the last few days, were you?
No, I didn't even know about them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. No, do you know what?
normally I'd be like well informed, but unfortunately, like that, like like I mean, I'd only be interested in the like the cost of living type of protests, you
Right.
know.
Yeah. No, one of the reasons I asked is Darren was saying last night that on one side of O'Connell Street there were pro immigration crowd, and on the other side was that the National Party anti immigration side. And I just wondered, were you in there, or what was it like? Because it sounded interesting from what Darren was saying.
And I couldn't walk with me back anyway. So
Oh, all right, okay. Yeah, that's right. Um, should maybe go a bit of acupuncture or something, Eddie, you know?
yeah, I definitely go back to the acupuncture.
Yeah, yeah, that helped me now when I had a bit of a smack a few years ago. The acupuncture helped me with the back. Great, it was very good. Um, and if you can get a few of those Chinese herbs off the people and throw them in soup, that's also great. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, you don't sound in the best. Everything all right?
No, I was just so upset by two friends of mine, you know, like that.
Oh,
That was on other channels,
oh, okay.
and it's,
It's not all that
yeah,
American. Well, I don't want to pry, Eddie. I don't want to pry, man. Um, yeah.
I wouldn't like to publicize it like on here
Yeah, no,
anyway.
so yeah. No worries. No worries, sir. I'm sure Cool Hills will be back in 3 fucking hours and he can tell us whatever he's doing. But you kind of need to be in the humor though to play a tune though, Eddie, don't you? You have to sort of be in good form and nice
Yeah,
atmosphere about the place and feel good. Yeah.
I
And
go
then
play it. I mean, I mean, I've not like I like that. There's not no issue, but it's just like I'm not feeling it, you know, tonight.
yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Um, you're not a football man, Eddie, by any chance, are you?
Oh, I will be. I'm a
Oh yeah,
Mike Union.
jeez, you're my yeah. That was a nightmare today, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, you win some, you lose some, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, the
We
plan
we,
was
we
not
have to.
the plan was
But
not to
we
lose.
soldier on. We probably will end up winning the league at the end of it. And second that
Well,
those Arsenal guys, you know.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, we've done it before. I mean, you take like I mean the likes of Liverpool, like they're always saying, oh yeah, we'll win the league. Like, I mean, every fucking year that they're the same, but
Yeah,
they end up fucking not getting nothing.
yeah. Um, yeah. Don't know what to say to that now, to be honest with you, because they could go on a run, you know. To be honest with you, they're missing a few players, and I'm not just saying that, Eddie, because there's a few Scousers in the crowd, or
Yeah,
in the they are missing a few players though. You wouldn't know. I think they probably want to win the Champions League more than the league, to be honest with you. They've been unlucky a few times. A bit like us, we lost. Didn't we lose three in a row, or we won one, and we Barcelona beat us twice in the late or in the noughties, the late noughties, didn't they?
yeah.
Something worse, winning or you have to win 18 games to win that fucking tournament
Well,
down here.
it wasn't only the Noddy. It was we were beaten by I think it was AC Milan as well.
Yeah, in the well, you mean in the like 2010 and onwards kind of thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not too sure about that. AC Milan. Yeah, I know we beat them in a quarter final, but I know they beat us with that real tall Brazilian fella. I can't remember his name anyway, but he scored a couple of goals. Scored a couple of goals at Old Trafford. But yeah, yeah. You know what they always? You know the funny thing they always used to say about Alan Shearer. If Ferguson had managed to sign Shearer, we probably would have won that fucking Champions League about 3 or 4 times in the '90s with that team. And we got
Yeah.
knocked out a couple of times in semi-finals. I think it was
Well, we,
Dortmund and Leverkusen beat us.
I mean, in saying that, like we had some fucking record, like back in those '90s. I mean, we were fucking. It
Yeah.
was unreal. Like not nobody could fucking touch us. You know, like
No, no, no.
When Ferguson was at the helm. You know.
They
Yeah,
were an
yeah.
awesome team then, weren't they?
Oh,
I
they
used
were,
No,
they
to.
were.
It's the only
you couldn't
team
fucking touch them.
I used to watch apart from my own was Man U. You know, like slyly.
Yeah. But you
During them
couldn't miss them. They
times,
were on every time fucking Sky was on.
you know, during them times it was.
So what you're saying, Marshall, is you're a closet Man
I've
United
been
fan, is
sold
it?
that before, but that ain't quite true now. But no, they were good to
Ah,
watch, weren't
come
they?
on, Marshall. You might as well admit it,
No,
for fuck's sake.
I'm not gonna get taken down that road. I've already had it tried on me. But no, they were good to watch, weren't they? Let's be honest. I mean, Galvin gave me the compliment today, and that's fair enough. And I'm giving the compliment what I used to do, and that's the only team I never
Oh no,
watched.
Arsenal deserve to win
Liverpool,
today.
I never watched.
Absolutely.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, I
It
never
was a
watched.
good win today. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? That is what I genuinely used to do. Hand on heart. I never watched Liverpool. You know, depending who Man U was playing, obviously, but really I was watching Man U.
Well, of course. I mean, yeah,
I've had
appreciate
plenty of
you.
crap for that over the years, trust me.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
It's nice to know Galvin, isn't it? Like that. He's a closet Man
Absolutely.
United fan.
Absolutely.
well,
Absolutely.
I paid enough compliments this week to Galvin over Rashford. Rashford's bloody world class. He's one of the
Right.
best in the world right now, I reckon.
Yeah. Big time.
Rashford's something else, man. Jesus. I must admit, you know, Saka is bloody up there as well, isn't he, really?
Have you been on the internet in the last 20 minutes? Have you, Cool Tools?
On the internet.
No, I'm only joking.
Why? What are you
Yeah,
saying?
he was on
I was
Google.
I was only messing. I was only implying you were just bleeding reading the match report. Jesus, come on, you have to
No,
keep up
no,
with the
no,
win.
no, no.
I'm only having a laugh.
Do you know,
Bobby,
like, I
Bobby's
get
in
a lot of
anyway. So
messages during the match from family, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Bobby's in, so there should be a few controversial, fucking crazy notions and some very clever comments. Oh, I don't know why it doesn't come up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So a lot more people should be trying to try it out and come up and, you
You
know,
get
at
strung
least,
out now.
yeah, you know, get into an argument, a fight, or ban a few people.
Yeah.
You know what
No,
I mean? But they should try it.
yeah. Yeah.
I've always believed that. You know, they got to give it a go because it's fun, isn't it? When it's all going smooth.
There's
Oh
no
yeah.
show unless you give it a go.
That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah. You have to try everything once, as they say.
Yeah,
And that comes from the main
they,
man, Eddie
they,
Gannon.
they can't. You heard it here, folks, folks. You heard it here, folks.
Yeah. Prohibition, so it means that you
But you seem to be a little bit worn out with it today, Eddie. Eh?
It's just fucking it's like too much, you know.
Yeah, I know. It's like it can get you like that from time to time, can't it? Where you're just a bit, you kind of had enough, and I don't know.
Well,
It can drain your brain. That's the way I look at it. It like drains you mentally. That's the way I've always kind
Like
of
I
looked at
mean,
it.
all last year I had fucking bullshit, you know, and then fucking
Yeah, that's the only. That's the downside to it. I mean,
So it
there's,
sucks having to fucking go through it again.
yeah, there's plenty of upside, but there is downside obviously as well. You know, it's a shame, but I wouldn't mind if it is founded. You know, it ain't so bad if it's sort of a genuine downside, but you know, something that actually happened. But when it hasn't, it kind of gets a bit tiring. Here he is, old Galvin.
No, no, I was just something
You
happened
got
with
your
Eddie. Did
army
he?
top on.
I
You
don't
off the
want to
camp?
beat him.
Unless I've got a bone to pick with you.
No, go on. Yeah. What's
There
next?
was
Who was cracking
with
jokes
a
about being in the bloody guard?
couple of
Oh,
Americans, you know.
a couple of couple of them. All right, okay, right.
Galvin, who was cracking jokes about being in the guard tonight?
Who? Who was?
I'm just asking who was. You might know.
Oh, me. Oh, was it me? Me.
You
All right,
cracked
yeah.
a joke about being in the guard. I thought, oh my goodness. I nearly bloody choked to death when you said that.
Yeah, I think probably the people that just heard that probably heard the fucking joke an hour ago. But sure, go on.
But I'm saying that was you.
I know what you were saying,
I
Marshall.
couldn't believe what you said, honestly. I was very surprised.
Okay, yeah,
How's
yeah.
Clint
Okay.
Brook anyway?
Pardon?
How's Clint Brook? He's in the chat. He's a good guy.
I don't
And
know. Can't see him.
who else have we got here? We got Max Brennan. Of course, we've got Bella, Bobby Crush, Tillyman. I mean, there's 18 in this saying at the moment. Probably got a few lurkers. It'd be nice for people to just, have a go on the panel.
Why can you not tell? Is it only the people that are in the comments that are down as viewers? Do the lurkers
No,
not? Are
I
they
got in the top corner. I get a number. You should
of
get a number
everybody?
on YouTube.
Of every, I have to come off the YouTube for the sound to
Oh right, okay.
yeah I
But
don't
yeah,
know,
there's 18 watching now.
but
But I
all
must
right.
admit, there's only a few of us until other streams finished. So it kind of is
Yeah, well,
similar.
Art's thing is finished, so I'm sure a few people
That's
will
what
come
happened.
over.
It went up a bit when he finished. Let's be honest. I don't have
Yeah,
to.
yeah. I
That's how it
mean,
was.
yeah. But it'd be good if you could get, even if those Liverpool lads came on over here for a few minutes, it'd be a bit of crack or
I
something.
doubt they even know about this, to be honest.
Yeah, I know it's just a bit of drama for 5 minutes or something. But
So you were buzzing off that then.
no. I was just up there for 2 or 3 minutes.
But
That
do you
was it.
think that I don't know? I think sometimes stuff like that is either very entertaining or very pointless. And I
I
think
think
it
it was.
was the
I think it
latter,
was
wasn't it?
It was somewhere in between. I think.
Yeah, I thought it was the latter, to be honest, for what I saw. When you
Oh,
said, "Oh,
you saw it, did you?
well, you said you," I only saw a bit of it. When you said you went back over there, I
Yeah,
went and had a look,
yeah.
and
No,
only in and out because I had guests here, didn't I? But I told them what I did. They were doing the same. Weren't you,
yeah.
Bella and Tilly and whatnot? They were doing the same. So I was just curious, and and that was it. And I'm sure there's people listening that will maybe mark that down. But at the end of the day, that's I'm just curious because of what was said. But people like that, they I don't know, they've got an agenda, and that's to attack the channel owner. And I don't know. I don't know. What do you think that was entertaining, or I don't know. I didn't see it all, but
Did I think it was entertaining?
yeah, or do you think it was just a pointless
Well,
effort?
yeah, I don't know. It was. Do you know what? It was probably people have probably been sort of waiting for sort of a few of the lads from Liverpool to get on, and sort of have been waiting for a couple of months. I mean, I think there's been one or two appearances, but I'm
Right.
sure it was sort of fairly entertaining for people just to
That's what
how,
it is. Is
how
people watching generally, but sometimes when you're actually on the panel and that sort of stuff's going on, it's a bit. I don't know. It's not always fun, is it?
Well, have you been on a panel with three Scousers?
I have been
And
on a panel with all kinds of people
all right, okay.
in the past. Not them, but like various situations. I mean, even when you're on a panel and you say that you actually know someone from a certain area or a few people, it's
Yeah,
like you always
I
get
wouldn't.
discounted in the chat.
Well, you see, the thing is, I've never said anything like that. I've never named people from Liverpool. I know
No,
there's been a
but
couple
the
of
thing
people that
was,
have.
is those people, um, they, and I probably describe it a little bit wrong in a way, but they don't care. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
Who?
The people I described, yeah, when I was on Arts once.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, like they passed all that, but the thing is with that area, people tend to stay in touch with what's going on,
Right.
regardless of being involved or anything. It's quite a talkative place, I think. Over that way,
Yeah.
they always seem to, regardless of the person, they always seem to know what's going on, even if they, you know, not involved or on the fringes, or maybe in the past they were. But do you know what I mean? They all seem to. It's got a hell of a grapevine as that
Yeah.
area and the Wirral, etc. Hell of a grapevine. I mean, a lot of places have, but it's particularly fast, that one
Particularly which?
over there. Liverpool, Merseyside, all that. People generally. It's amazing how people know what other people are doing, and etc. etc. I'm sure an element of it, a certain amount of it's probably guessing, made up, whatever, but a lot of it is right. I mean, being around, I don't know, a certain amount of people like that, it's amazing how, I don't know, they just seem to have this network that, I mean, I heard of a situation where someone had done something, he told nobody, right, what he was doing, he told nobody, but people had put two and two together and worked out, what he was doing by just living in a certain area, and he'd go on a trip on a Thursday or a Friday, yeah. And
Who's
then
this now? Are we speaking
this is a
about the
guy
three
that I
lads
know
that
of,
you
yeah,
know from Liverpool, or
yeah. This
just
is a guy that
generally?
I know of.
Yeah.
Anyway, just to make sure, they put a tracker on his car.
Yeah.
They found
Yeah.
out where he was going. They
Yeah.
didn't rob him. What they
They
did is they
didn't.
went and followed him to where he was going, and then they got onto the people he was going to see.
Yeah.
Then they robbed them. They were in West Yorkshire, and they do that with trackers because they knew that guy was, here and there, doing a little bit of this and that, but they weren't involved. But what they did is they followed him, and they went for his sort of person, so it went on their own doorstep. You know what I mean? And it caused a lot of trouble. It caused a hell of a lot of trouble. That, and Asians don't forget very quickly.
Asians.
Yeah, yeah. It was Asians that got actually set up in the end. Yeah, the guy was English, but he was dealing with Asians um, over in West Yorkshire. And these trackers, you see, they open up everything. Like the real people that are, you know, wise to that, check the car every day because the tracker is just 50 quid, isn't it? 50 quid in an app, and they're finding out everything, you know, and they'll put them on a few cars and all the rest of it. It's massive in our area. I know it goes on in your area as well, but particularly around my end, it's used a lot. You know, they'll have somebody sat somewhere who's retired or got time or whatever, who I don't know, might be ill or at home or something, and they'll just monitor the trackers day in, day out. That's their job.
Well, you don't need to monitor. You don't need 3 or 4 people to monitor a tracker. Cool tools. All you need to do
No,
is
no,
stick it
not
under
three
a
or four
car and
people.
stick
I
in an
said
app
one
on a
person.
computer.
One person. He'd be at home and he'd be monitoring 3 or 4 different trackers. Yeah,
Some
not
old,
three
some
or
old
four
guy,
people.
some old
Pardon?
guy who can't leave the house. You mean
Yeah,
is
there'll be someone.
monitoring a
Yeah,
tracker for a, for
and
a,
he'll
for
be
an organized
monitoring the
crime gang?
trackers. They told him to monitor. Just one guy.
Some old age
I know
pensioner
about
is.
that. That was being done. Yeah, and what happened was only recently, um, some guys that were going to do a bit of naughtiness. Yeah, they missed the boat. They messed it up. So next, they missed like £1.5 million worth. Yeah, they missed the boat and messed it up. So do you know what happened next? The people got bloody grassed up. They somebody grassed the people up that these guys have missed. Can you believe that? That's what it's like now. So to be involved in anything along them lines is just suicide because people are just. It's not like when years ago when you could. I don't know. There's a lot more honour if you like. I know it ain't always been like that, but to hear that somebody was trying to set someone up and then they missed a really good opportunity. Next thing you know, that person's getting taken down by the law. So, you know, it was come out later that these guys had set him up. And the two brothers in my area. It was on the channel as well a bit ago. I can't think what it's called. The channel. It might have been on Gangster
All
Times,
right,
I think.
George. Just
Yeah.
roll the joint. I'm back in a sec.
All right, mate. So Eddie, have you heard anything from our man, the hippie, about locking your door? Are you going to come on the panel making people smile? Come on. There's the link. Get your sent on. Because I'm just having a brandy and I'm going to waffle on otherwise. Now, it's hard to explain the situation when you don't want to, and you can't always say the whole thing in a way, because I know I get ghosted on this channel quite a lot. And I was being ghosted by somebody so close to me, it was unbelievable. I was so surprised when I found out. And that is because of an. I'll say who it was Si. And some of my family were watching the bloody live. Unbelievable. Believe it or not, it was around a football match in Manchester. Last time it was when I went. Do you remember, Eddie?
Yep.
It was the early morning, and we'd gone to the hotel the night before, and we were in Manchester, and I was going to the Manchester Arsenal game, yeah, at Old Trafford, and that happened the morning of that game on the Sunday, and I went on the live and stuck up for myself because I'd heard what was being said, and later on, the little grapevine family got told, and they were watching it together in my mum's kitchen, for fuck's sake. You know, watching it live in my mum's kitchen where somebody's been quite derogatory. It's quite, you know, and at the time, my sister was livid. Absolutely livid. And it's like, she said, why are you doing that YouTube and this and that? And I said, because I've met a lot of good people on there, and you will get a lot of idiots here and there, but, you know, most of the time, it's fun. I mean, I'd like anyone to make some comments regarding that, what they think overall, because I think most people think it's okay because they're on here. Or is it? I don't know.
How do you mean? You mean? I'm not quite getting you. You mean how do people feel about sort of what happens? Someone did something to you last year,
Right,
and
okay, I was going to
you're
the Man U game, yeah?
yeah, yeah,
We'd gone and we were in a hotel for the night before. We went out for a meal the night before and we're going to Old Trafford. I'm in the hotel. I turns on YouTube because I woke up at 5 a.m. Turns on YouTube, there's a live going on. And I'm being talked about on there. Derogatory, yeah? As well as a couple of other people. It was Si, yeah? And a lot of people were telling him to leave it, shut up, blah, blah, blah. But he had his record on. So anyway, I went on the live. I was mad. I went on the live and I was probably raising my voice a bit. I give it to him, you know what I mean? But the thing
yeah.
is the room next door had my fucking brother and his two sons in, yeah? And then it went from there kind of thing. I didn't get down for the breakfast till literally it was finishing. You know, and like my brother starts asking questions and blah blah blah. Then my sister turns up because she didn't stop in the hotel overnight. She turns up. He's told her. Then she's looking at my devices. Well, what was you watching? Who's saying that about you and all this shit? And it went from there. But I didn't realise at the time she'd made a note of it. Next thing you know, about 3 days later, it's like a Tuesday or something. I hear from my missus that they're watching it in my mum's kitchen with my mum. Imagine
Mhm.
that, Calvin.
Yeah, well, obviously something derogatory was said. I don't want to ask what was. So obviously,
Well,
reading
you know,
between
it's
the
about
lines.
what's happened with me and stuff. Yeah,
So yeah, well, yeah, well, that's what I was saying. I don't know exactly
like
what
that.
was
You,
said.
you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, and but the thing is, you know, I wouldn't involve uh, any family or anything. But when I saw that morning, it was like I don't go on and carry on with them now. I just kind of have a word with them later or something. But I've done that a couple of times, and what it does is it shows you in a bad light when you do that. You know, some people say, "Oh, wow, you're sticking up for yourself, and fair play to you," blah blah blah, and you know, but I don't know. It's like that was the worst thing that's happened to me on YouTube, to be honest. Hearing that later on my sister's playing it to my mum and Mrs. in her kitchen. Oh, my niece was running around as well, yeah. But why do you go on things that are talking about you like that and blah blah blah? Don't it bother you? Why you get, you know, it's only going to get you mad and this and that, and you know what I mean, like that. Is Tilly off? Good night, Tilly. Thank you for coming, and you've
Oh, oh, yeah. Good
good
night,
shift.
Tilly. Yeah.
And
Sorry, man. What were you saying there?
sorry,
No, just what you were saying something there just before you said good night to
yeah, I was
Tilly.
just saying that you know, like that probably the worst experience when family would be looking at that, and then I don't know whether they ghost them channels now because it was on what's known as the joint channel, but they couldn't understand why I was involved in that. Yeah, but at the time, I'm going on it a lot anyway. But it's just one person. But then they're saying, "Well, isn't that gonna not do your mental state any good?" And this and that. I said, "No." I said, "I just, you know, fuck them in it." But like hearing that after the fact is not good.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't even go on now and just, you know, I catch them after. But some people, I think they slowed it down a wee bit anyway because there's no need for it.
Yeah,
So anyway,
yeah.
making people smile. JTR Jack Black, are you coming on the panel? Let's come on and let's have a good.
I think making people smile is going to bed. He was just saying there.
Is he?
Or yeah, he'll come on when he's out camping again.
Yeah, God, he was putting the right shift in doing that, wasn't he?
Yeah,
In the hammock,
well,
making people smile.
I presumed he was under a tent the other night. I didn't know where or what or
Yeah,
um,
but no, we'll keep it going for another half an hour or something. You know, I think Eddie
hmm?
Gannon's gone to sleep anyway.
Yeah, Eddie. Yeah, yeah, probably. Yeah, because he wasn't into singing a song or anything like that.
No, he's a little bit. He's a little bit. You know, like mentally tired type thing.
Yeah, yeah,
He's been
yeah.
trying to mediate between a couple of friends on another channel.
Oh,
Yeah, it wasn't an argument. It's like a debate, but yeah, it's kind of wore him down a wee bit. But you don't have to sing every time he comes on. He does plenty.
yeah, yeah. He's not just
But
there for the
I get
singing.
that.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah, yeah.
He does plenty for my channel. I want him to start banging his link up, and other people, we start putting his link up because he's going to do one of these. An EP we were talking about earlier. He's going to do an EP at some point where it's just like a test album, innit? A few tracks, see what happens, with a view to doing his album. What do you think to that?
Oh yeah, big time. Well, it's not always the if you can do something you enjoy and make a couple of quid out of it, and that's the secret to life, isn't it?
Well, I think he could, could build up his following a bit more, and then use the internet, more to his advantage. And even if he just did it, uh, as a download or whatever to begin with. But I think his target market would be much more maybe CD buyers because, a lot of sort of not older generation, but he does a lot of songs that of a certain generation enjoy,
Yeah,
and with an
exactly. Yeah,
Irish twist on it,
yeah,
they're gonna love it, aren't they?
yeah, yeah.
But
It was like that.
he's obviously getting it going. I think it'd be a great thing for him to do.
It was
So
like
he's
that
gonna.
girl with the saxophone the other night playing the
Oh,
playing that. She was brilliant.
awesome! I'm gonna work out how to get this screen up, yeah, and I'm gonna start putting stuff up like that because I've almost done it a few times, haven't I, Galvin? You've been patient as hell, mate.
Oh, yeah, remember the
Oh
first time I
God,
was
you
bleeding
deserve
while
a
on
medal
here.
for that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Listen, mate, you deserve a medal for that. Trust me.
yeah.
Wow, it's like there you go. There's your.
Hello.
But God,
Yeah,
that was horrendous. When I was trying to do that,
yeah,
it,
yeah.
it was just so annoying, and it was like I felt like I got there.
Yeah, a few times.
Oh God, the two times we did it, didn't we?
Yeah, a few
And it
times.
was 45 minutes. Honestly, I'm amazed you're around. Thought you're gonna say,
Yeah.
"Oh, cool, so we've got to go. I need a dump or something." You know what I mean? It, go on.
Have you? Did you? Have you just sent? Have you just comment? Have you just sent me a message in the comments?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I was just confused. That's all. I didn't know what I was looking at.
Oh, we got Darren in.
Oh, Jesus, Darren.
Good to see you, mate.
Are you getting up, Darren?
I'll bang the link out. Just give me 1 minute, and I'll put the link up. But yeah, I was just giving Galvin his medals because he hung around
Oh,
one night.
sorry. They were medals. I don't know what any of these
Oh
bleeding
my
icons
goodness! You know
are.
what it is, mate. Eventually,
No,
yeah.
yeah, no. Do you know what? I have to move this right up to my eyes because I'm practically blind. I'm just too
Oh
vain
right,
to
is
get
it that
glasses.
bad?
Yeah, no, I
Right.
can.
I
I
don't know
can.
whether Darren will want to come on here. I have no idea.
Ah,
I don't see
Jesus.
why not, but I'll bang the link up, and he's always welcome.
How are you, Darren?
I think he's a man that prefers chatting than typing anyway, to be honest. I do.
Huh?
Oh, he's listening at the moment.
Who? Art?
Darren.
Oh, Darren. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm listening better.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay, yeah.
Are you a
Well,
little bit worn
I
down?
hope that goes well, Darren. Anyway.
Yeah, what is it, if you don't mind me asking? Is it the tooth again? Because he's had wisdom tooth out, any or something.
Yeah, there was something to do with a tooth, all right. I remember that.
Do you know, like, this is something, right? Wisdom tooth, is that a tooth that's overgrown?
I haven't a clue. I haven't. I believe it's horrific to have to get out, but I haven't a clue.
I heard that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I only just curious about that because, you know, where I had a couple of bridges put in, and I've knocked one of them out, and I'm trying to get one of my bridges came out, and because I had a bit of a fall, and that's got to be glued back in. But when I was trying to push it in myself, because I bought some glue, because obviously all the dentists were bloody shut and whatnot, and I didn't like this gap at the side of my mouth, so I bought some glue off of Amazon.
Right.
And I tried using it, but it didn't seem like it fitted anymore.
You tried to glue you tried to glue something back into your mouth?
My bridge, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
These are $3,000 worth in about 2005. $3,000 worth, yeah.
Well, geez,
it
did
was
you
worth,
just read what Darren said there, though? It's best to look at. Best to look anyway, Darren.
The old blood test. Hospital for a blood test, wow.
Yeah.
I get the vampire with the case nowadays.
The vampire just takes the blood out of the neck, is it?
No, she just comes with it, it's just a nurse with a kit. Say going to surgery or whatever.
Yeah.
Because at the moment things are a little bit iffy. But it's a shame they don't do that with everything that happens.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it'd be great.
Because I sat in hospital, right? And ended up with a kidney infection, yeah? I sat in hospital for 2 weeks after having treatment, doing absolutely nothing, yeah? No reason for me to be there, right?
Yeah.
But sorry, the reason that I was there for had been treated, yeah? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Long story short, I caught COVID while I was in there.
Oh, no. Oh, for fuck's sake.
The only time I've ever caught COVID was in that hospital, yeah? Long story short, I went to the COVID ward, yeah? So on the COVID ward, 10 days, you're not allowed bloody this, you're not allowed to do that, you'll have one visitor, all this carry on. Anyway, so I'm on this COVID ward, and then they say, right, you've done your 10 days, you can go to whatever ward. I got moved to a ward, which was, now I know, but they didn't tell me at the time, it was an extreme COVID ward. They were walking around with all the PPE on and these big things on their head, like, pumping the air.
Yeah.
They never told me it was an extreme COVID ward, but I got a lovely suite, a massive suite, yeah? And it was like huge, TV on the end, my own shower room and everything, yeah? And there was only about 10 of them in the whole place, yeah? And nobody said anything. I just thought, well, why are these wearing gowns and white PPE and they've got these head things on when I've just come from the COVID ward, yeah? and done my 10 days. Well, on here, you're only allowed one visitor, this and that. They didn't tell me. And they saw something on one of me x-rays. Yeah?
Yeah. No, I'm listening, man. I'm
Yeah, they
listening.
seen something on one of my x-rays and put me on the extreme COVID ward. Well, when it comes to getting professionals to help you when you were leaving, let me tell you, they didn't want to know. There was a lady that wouldn't come on that ward. And in
Because
the end,
she thought she was going to contract that disease.
like whatever version
Jesus.
of COVID.
Yeah.
And they never told me once what that ward was about, why I was on there, and people were dying on there.
Yeah, but
So
you know the thing, that whole COVID thing is so mental because people are making all these comments about you getting jabs, you're not getting jabs. Like I've met people who've had COVID or they've been told they've had COVID and they know the difference between flu and COVID. And a few of them have been young, some have been old, and they're not. They said it knocks them like for like 4 or 5 weeks. I know people who've died from it. Well, unless their
it
family are
depends who
lying
you
to me.
are and your physicality and if you got any other issues. I
Say
think
again.
I think it depends on who you are, what
Yeah.
other issues you've had
Oh, of
medically.
course, yeah, your immune system and all that kind of
But
stuff.
but
Yeah,
they never said, not one doctor, not one nurse, nobody said what that ward was about. I had to find out later on. And it's like they never said anything. And I think that's because I caught it in the hospital, and you might have
oh,
some kind of after claim
yeah,
because
yeah.
it had caused complications, but they never told me about any of it. Now I've not pursued it, but what it was is there's a professional that came on. They're called OTs, and this woman did not want to come on that ward. She sent her underlings on. But in the end, she had to come on, and when she come on, she was the most arsey woman I've ever met in a professional capacity ever, anywhere.
Yeah. Well, do
She
you remember what I
implied
was
I
saying
was
to
a
you?
liar.
Remember
Yeah,
about what I was saying to you about the statute of limitations on something like that, though?
yeah, I haven't pursued that one, but I've got a little
Yeah,
while, you know.
yeah,
But
but
but the thing was, I I realised later on I could never work out why she was like that. She implied that I didn't have a certain bit of equipment, yeah, right? It's called a monkey bar. And she said, "Oh, you ain't got a monkey bar." I said, "I have." I said, "Ring up and ask him. It's there now."
yeah.
And she came on. She was in her ass the second she got on there for no reason. And what it was is she didn't want to come on that ward. That ward had
Jeez,
a
come here. Did you just read Darren's thing about the second comment he made about having to wait because of all the
yeah.
COVID stuff?
Darren's had it more than anyone I know.
No, yeah, something about he had to wait to give a sample. And then the next comment he makes is that he was begging God for them to take it bloody out of him. He was in so much pain.
I had,
Jesus. Oh, I hate
yeah.
hospitals.
Well, the second time I had the intervention, the JAB,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I was like that. Let me tell you, I all I really took from that was I was really bad and I'd had enough, and I was shaking uncontrollably. I had two duvets around me. I had people hugging me over the two duvets. Everything was on full blast, heating, fire, everything, and
Fucking hell.
I was shaking uncontrollably. And I got handed a drink, and I just shook it all over the place. Yeah, I couldn't. I was trying so hard to control myself, but I couldn't. And
Jesus.
it was like I was freezing inside. And then the ambulance crew came, and the look on my son's face, I'll never forget it. Never.
Well, petrified. No.
He was fucking terrified, mate. I never seen him like that. You know, he's normally a pretty confident kid, and you know, he was what 19 then or whatever. He was fucking terrified, mate. I could see him trying to be strong, But it's just the look on his face. He couldn't take it away. Yeah, it wasn't like he
Yeah.
was, like trying to
Well,
set himself
yeah,
right.
you know, with your kids, no matter how much they try and hide your look, you just look at them for like 0.1 of a second, and you know exactly fucking how they're thinking or
It
what
was
they're.
the look. Yeah, that look. I
Yeah,
never forget it.
yeah,
Me. That is the thing I took from it. And when I've been encouraged to have this and have that and have a bit bigger boost or whatever, no chance. No way. No way. I know plenty of people have had all of it and they've had it 2, 3 times, a couple of times, let's say.
jeez.
Bullshit. And yeah, when you catch it in hospital, mate, I'd avoided it for 18 months then, quite
Yeah,
successfully. I'd had
yeah,
family members had it, this and that. I think, fucking hell, I've done all right here.
yeah,
I had
yeah.
people coming into my room on occasions. There was half of the place that had it and half of the place that didn't. And some of the ones that had it were coming into my room and
Yeah.
having to
Well,
get
I'll tell
kicked
you.
out.
Do you know? I think yeah, it was last year. Last year I went down to Spain with my kid for a week or whatever, and we had to go through all the, get the tests and show them the cards and all that kind of thing. And when we were landing in Malaga, and then we were same thing leaving Malaga, had to go through all this kind of stuff 3 days before the holiday. So we get on the plane, a Ryanair plane. We come back a week later, and then we get a letter, or no, it's actually a phone call, I think, saying that we had come in contact with somebody who had COVID, and that we had to isolate for whatever it was, 7 days. But the person who obviously had COVID was somebody on the plane, but they'd managed to fucking fly out from Ireland, get back on the plane in Malaga, come back over, while they had COVID, or they could have contracted COVID over in Spain, but they still managed to pass a test and infect the whole plane. The whole plane had to isolate. But I mean, so it was pretty easy for people just to avoid even having to show these cards and I mean, put it to you like this: if you're told to stay somewhere for 14 days, I mean, are you really going to stay somewhere for 14 days?
Plenty of bullshit going on, wasn't there?
Yeah,
I didn't experience any of that, but my son went away to Malta on a MMA training weekend, wrestling and whatnot. It's about 5 days, and I thought he was going to have loads of issues, but sailed through.
yeah.
And there was no kind of, and when he actually ended up getting it, and he was fine. He's just a bit rough for a day or two. That's all he was. But he's fit and healthy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, well, and strong metabolism as well. Obviously.
young and all that. The youngsters don't seem to go too bad with it.
No,
And
no.
he's on the vitamins as well. Vitamin D is the thing with that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Vitamin
yeah,
D
but
is really, really.
we don't get any sun, so I mean, vitamin D is where the sun comes from, isn't it?
That's why a lot of black and Asian people tend to have a worse record with it as well, catching it and getting worse symptoms from it because
Yeah,
they got a lower vitamin D. Vitamin D is a real fighter with it.
yeah. No, it's very important. All right, take me two
I, I
tablets
I
a
got a high
day.
quality one. It's you're gonna. Some people find this hard to believe. You can overdose on vitamin D. Yeah, you can
No,
overdose on vitamin D.
like
But
overdose
basically,
and
yeah,
die, like overdose and
you
die.
can. Yeah. A
Jesus.
lady not too far from where I am, but was on the same vitamin D as me, and she passed away. Yeah, but it takes about a year or so for that to happen. She was in a place called Bramley, just outside Leeds, in a care home, and a doctor had wrote out the prescription wrong. And I was on the same one. It's called a vitamin D uptake course, and it's 20,000 micrograms each capsule, and you take 2 a week, just once per week. I used to take on a Sunday. Well, she had a prescription wrote out wrong, right,
Oh,
for a
and but
doctor.
Jesus, you'd think the pharmacy would twig that, though, wouldn't you?
She was taking that every day.
Yeah, yeah. So he basically prescribed her like 20 times the amount of vitamin D you're
Well,
supposed to
7
take in
times
a
the
day.
amount that you take 2 of them once a week. So you get, so they're 10,000 micrograms per thing, but you have 2 of them once a week. And because vitamin D metabolizes in the system quite funny.
Yeah.
If some people who take vitamin D every day, it isn't a good thing. It's best just to take a big dose once a week because the body deals with it better. And these other vitamin Ds you take every day, they're not really worth it.
Well,
Taking it once a week, a higher dose, is much better for the body. And the one I was taking is about 10 or a box, it's 10, 12 quid a box. It's expensive. But yeah, she got prescribed that every day. And after a year, she got the
she
autopsy
just,
done and she
Jesus,
died from vitamin D overdose.
fucking hell. Jesus,
Hard
I
to
know you
imagine
can
that,
do.
isn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
you
Yeah.
can look it up online.
No,
She's in
no, but
family.
it's
But
that's crazy.
like I actually saved some people who were doing the same thing. It was a nurse that I used to get talking to, and she was taking it every day, the same one,
The
the very
same
best one you
tablet,
can get.
same tablet as the old lady.
Yeah.
Jesus.
They read it wrong. Instead of once a week, they think it's once a day.
Right.
People don't digest what they're reading correctly. She said she thought it was once a day. The nurse. So the doctor made that same thing when they did the prescription for the old lady, didn't they?
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, mate, yeah? Anyway, I told this nurse she'd be giving her whole family.
Oh, Jesus. I hope none
Her
of those.
whole
I hope. I
family. Do you
hope.
know what it is? She came in and kissed me one night. She
Oh,
came in and kissed me. She said, "Do you know, Master?" She said, "I can't believe that and how naive I've been, and you just being forward thinking has helped me."
yeah.
Because I even told her about the story about the old lady
Yeah.
and the doctor getting it wrong, and she looked at it in front of me and she was in shock, mate. She left her job that night to go home. She
Jesus.
left the shift.
Yeah.
It was that
Listen, Marshall,
important.
I'll
Anyway,
be back.
listen.
No, I'll be back to you in about 10 or 15 minutes. I just want to actually get into bed, set the computer up so it's not falling
Right,
off the
okay. I
bed.
was going to say I would have ended it, but I don't know where
No,
Eddie is. I don't know
what?
who's in the chat. We've got 8 in,
Yeah. What does that mean? There's us two and then what? 6 people
8
listening?
people in. But, I don't know where Eddie is. I think he's probably gone to sleep. I'm waffling on. But no, I thought that was
No,
quite interesting
it's
because,
not that. I actually just want to get relaxed. That's all.
well, all right.
Just want to put on. That's all. Is that Eddie's voice there? Is it? No,
I think he
no.
chirped up. Yeah, he's probably in his little nest.
Yeah. Well, no, just give us a few minutes. That's
All
all.
right,
If
mate.
you,
No worries. No worries.
yeah. All right. Okay.
Darren, you couldn't let that happen, mate. I had it when I had the actual thing, the second JAB, but you can't let God take you. Fuck, you don't know. People need you, mate. Yeah, it's funny, fucking all this stuff. I mean, a lot of people just didn't believe it. I just think it's an extreme flu of some description, but yeah, it affects a lot of different people, a lot of different ways. It's the way I've come across, But I thought the hospital was very sneaky with what they did in my case, because not a word got mentioned. Oh, we seen something on an X-ray, or this, or that, or we're just monitoring you for another week, or nothing. That shows that they all piss in the same pot, and it's kind of orchestrated or whatever. Because yet still, nothing ever, ever got said. And you should know if you've got something that needs you to go to another place or whatever. Anyway, Eddie, you ready for your bed? Are you in your bed? Jack Black, fucking hell. Specsavers are doing house calls. I think you need an Airbnb on your street. Oh no, that ain't Jack Black. That's making people smile. He needs somewhere he can trot across the street. It was in a making people smile. Was in a fucking hammock in the back garden on my live the other night. You ever heard anything so fucking mad? I'm afraid that to give it. He's got dedication for the week. Have you or Tonkin? I don't think he's in the land of the living. Some nutter in California has decided to make somebody's new year to a new life. The next life. Fucking hell. Crazy, isn't they? And they're not sure whether the same guy attempted to do the same thing the year before, but he got the firearm, took off at the door. Who tried doing the same thing, but I don't know whether he. I mean, he can't have gone to prison for it because it was the year before, but kind of like it got blew up as some kind of joke, and they were implying that it was the same guy that had done it this year, this Chinese New Year. Crazy. I think the false flags they did in the UK were probably beneficial to us in a lot of ways. Get rid of the machine guns, the handguns. They were everywhere. I know that through personal experience. They were everywhere. Yeah, I used to attend a gun club, and there's people that I knew of a publican that had a cellar with all his beer in and his beer pumps and all that, and he had a room, and it was top to bottom, something like you'd see on a film, with all the hardware. He's a publican. I mean, you'd imagine it would be not easy to get a license for every type of firearm going in a pub, but that's what it was. He was actually a dealer. He dealt in weapons at that time. But yeah, I think in the UK, I think they did the right thing getting rid of them, because even though they're still about in a sense, there's just idiots that have got them now, and they have to try hard to get them, and the ammunition is very difficult to get sometimes. Well, whoever's here, let's just comment in the chat. I've got the link there. Galvin's coming back on. I think we're going to do another, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour. And that'll do, people. Done a couple of hours there. Bit of a slow starter, but that's the way it is. Anybody watch any good films lately? Type in the chat if you've watched any good films. You know, I like thrillers, conspiracy sort of, but I don't know, things where there's an element of truth to them. I do like a few crime ones and occasional gangster one if it's done well. But thrillers is probably my thing, to be honest. Whatever context that comes in. Anybody seen any good ones lately? Please put it in the chat. Eddie Gannon, are you there in the land of the living?
Yeah, I'm here.
God, you're quiet. You asleep or are you searching? What are you doing?
No, I was just making some
You
cup of
make
tea, you
some
know.
tea. All right, good. I'm going to we'll get Galvin on for another 20 minutes or whatever and have a little chat and I'm going to end it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, it's start of the week and whatnot. I've got to eat some myself actually.
Yeah, so I've got a good bit to do in the mornings anyway.
Have you? What, have you heard from Tonkin or anyone?
No, I haven't spoken to them and
I messaged him. I thought,
since
we might have heard from him a little bit over the weekend.
yeah, he'd be busy working anyway. So
Was he working on the weekend?
I'd say so. Yeah, usually is.
Was he stopping up there? No, he
I'm
usually,
not
because
sure
normally he
the
gets on.
full details, but as far as I know, he was
Right.
yeah.
No, I'm just curious because normally he does get. But I think because of the drive and the weather, I think he might not have been coming back when he would normally come back. I think it
Mm,
was mentioned by Vix. But, try and rather get it over and done with, get a few more extra days off at the end, I've
yeah,
done that myself many times. It's like get the thing done. Because the only other thing you're doing is you're on the road, bloody travelling,
yeah,
paying for fuel or whatever. It's just may as well try and get the thing done. That's the way I used to look at it. Weather played a big part in what I was doing. I did. I don't know if you probably heard this story when I got held back by the flying squad. Can I tell you that one
no,
in London?
there you go. Hopefully, there you go.
I'm back. When I got held by the flying squad in London. Can you hear me, Eddie?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah. I'm doing H. Samuel's flagship store in London. And it's a gold shop, obviously, watches, all the rest of it. They filled the shop up 2 secure rooms with stock because the shop had to open on the 1st of December. If it didn't, company got fined £500,000 against their contract. And what it was is the contracts manager had promised his kids a couple of years on the trot that he'd go to Lapland with them. Wow. They proper bugged him through the end of, November, whatever. He ended up feeling like he was obliged to book it. So he went off to Lapland. Who did he leave with the responsibility for the 2 secure rooms? On moi. Now, I was just friends of theirs, and I was doing, in the winter time, I'd come and I'd do whatever contract with them. It wasn't my thing. But he didn't have anyone else that he knew well and all the rest of it. Would you do it for me? So I said, yeah. Long story short, job's going on. You had to let people in these secure rooms. They went into a log, blah, blah, blah. These rooms have got floor to ceiling boxes with gold in, watches, everything, all kinds. Stock for the shop because it was like a rush to get the thing open for the 1st of December. Anyway, I had the 2 secure keys to the 2 rooms, 2 logs. Guy goes in, puts in a smoke alarm, puts in a light, this and that, yeah? Next thing you know, auditor comes, audits the stuff. One of the rooms, there's £330,000 worth of stuff missing. Thinking, what? There's been like 5 people let in that room. One doing suspended ceiling, one doing electrics, one doing windowsill and whatever. All them people are in the log. I've got the keys. I'm responsible for the log of the keys. So this one room, 330 grand's worth, is not there. Everything got signed in and signed out as it got delivered. There was somebody on site during these deliveries from H. Samuel's. So where's this fucking stuff gone? I ain't seen anybody come out with boxes. I always was aware when these people gone in and gone out, the tools with them, etc., etc. Well, next thing you know, they double checked, triple checked. The stuff's missing. The stuff's been delivered. It was in the room. Next thing you know, flying squad turn up on the job. Start interviewing me, interview everyone. Informally, first of all. Just in a room with a Dix phone. Then it was to the police station. Proper interview. Where's the stuff? Don't know. So it went on for about 5 days. Ended up staying over there the weekend. Didn't go home. It was fucking pressure like you wouldn't believe because I had the keys. I'd been away from the job for 5 hours because a counter had been made and the end of it was wrong. So it wouldn't join to what it was meant to join to. So I'd gone to the people that had been making the counters, the joinery firm, and I spent 5 hours there. But it wasn't in the log, and they kept honing in on that, the bastards. Trying to, make out I'd done something dodgy. I got this stuff out in a counter that we carried, that had been in the building and got carried out. Oh, all the stuff was in the counter when you carried it out. All this shit, yeah? Well, where was you for them 5 hours? I was at the joinery place across London. It's like 6 hours I was there, including coming back. Oh, well, you haven't wrote that in the log. You've done the log wrong. You've been off site. Who's been in the room? I don't know. So it went on for like 5, 6, 7 days. Contracts manager comes back. It's frosty. It's bad. People are looking at each other, suspecting. Anyway, all the alarms keep going off. All the alarms keep going off, fucking crazy. And then they zoned it out to the zone where it was. What it was is this guy who'd put in the smoke alarms had put the smoke alarm a bit too near because the suspended ceiling wasn't fitted to the correct point. So instead of being 2 squares back from the window, it was 1. And the sunlight was turning the smoke alarm and the heat detector off, putting all the alarms off. So anyway, they tried getting all the electrician that done it. He fucked off back to Birmingham to a bed sit, blah, blah, blah. Nobody could get hold of him. Then they were suspecting him. They had police looking for him in Birmingham. He's took it all. And I thought, well, at least the fucking heat's off me. Long story short, alarm goes off again. We got another electrician in, goes in, has to take down the suspended ceiling. Guess what? Up in the suspended ceiling, because the boxes were floor to ceiling, the guy who fitted the smoke alarm and heat detector had moved the boxes around and he put some up in the suspended ceiling because he only had one piece of the suspended ceiling missing. So as he was fitting it, he moved it around, and then from floor to ceiling there was boxes. The boxes aren't, they're not that big. They're like an A4, probably 6, 7, 8 inches thick. Just has a tray in it with the gold on, or the bracelets, or the watches, whatever. And he'd moved the stuff around and he put up in the boxes in the suspended ceiling. He'd put the boxes to give him some room. But what he'd done is, as he's worked his way out of the room, he's just fucked off. Left the stuff in the suspended ceiling. So when the audit comes, stop laughing, Bobby Crush. It wasn't fucking funny, mate. You're going to get 7 years, mister. Flying squad on the job because it's over so much money. Yeah. So old knobhead that done the fucking smoke alarm fucked it up anyway. He didn't get paid. We made sure of that. I don't like not a man not to get paid, but when he caused all that shit and he didn't do the job right anyway, it wouldn't to standard. He'd been lazy and took it further because he didn't have I don't know. Instead of looking for this suspended ceiling guy, he just did it how he wanted. But no, that was the saviour because it all got found in the after the audit, it got found in the suspended ceiling, and it all got pulled down. And flying squad come back, 2 officers. Oh, well, we have to be like that, and we have to try and put pressure on people to try and get to the truth. I said, but listen, if nobody's as stupid. I think if somebody's going to rob it, they'd have robbed the lot. Probably tied us all up or held us at gunpoint. Took the whole lot. 2 million quid's worth in 2 rooms. Took the keys. Yeah, it was 330,000. It's a good payday for anyone, but really, I don't know. It just didn't. I thought they made a mistake, to be honest. But anyway, yeah, that's what happened. And yeah, I was held in London for them days. You cannot leave here. They were watching outside. Novice. Yeah, that was my experience of being held back on a job. Not good. But let me tell you, I got the biggest bonus that anybody got in the history of that company. Even the owner, I don't think, got bonuses like that. No. They gave me a week on top. Gave me like 40 odd hours. Not that I put hours in, I put a price in, but he said, no, I'm going to put a load of hours in extra for the trouble you got. Like that. And we're not going to pay that idiot from Birmingham, the Brum. And that's what they did. They basically shared it out between whoever. I got like another 800 quid that I wasn't going to get. So, if it was Ratner's, it'd have been 28 quid Jesus, man, I'd have been happy because he wouldn't have got some knobheads coming, trying to. They were pretty wick really as investigators, but they were pissing up the wrong tree. You're not gonna get any. I don't know. Say if I'd have known about it yet, or I don't know. I don't know. They're all wrong. I think they're used to dealing with too many people. They knew they're just going to say no comment or it. I just said I don't want to say anything until I see him as solicitor. And you see, that wasn't possible on the job when they interviewed us illegally, actually. On the job, they just said, we just want to take a bit of information. You're an honest guy. I knew what they were doing. It was like they were trying to get a level by next thing you know, turn up and say, you have to come to the police station with us. I said, do I? I said, why? What evidence you got? Well, you had the log. Otherwise, we're going to arrest you. And that won't look good for you. Future times and all the rest. We've looked into you. They'd investigated everybody on the place. About 90 people working on there. But the thing was, the guy that caused it, they couldn't track down. How about that, Bobby? Yeah, the guy that caused it, they couldn't find. He was in some flat or a bedsit in Birmingham or whatever, going around doing this dodgy electrical work. Probably had a bloody certificate that he got off the internet because he did it all wrong. But that was my saviour, in a sense, because I know for a fact I was going to be charged. They were just looking at charging someone and seeing what they get. I think they were going to charge you, do a delayed charge, and then try and scare you. They were saying 7 years to me and this and that, all that carry on. But I didn't take it in because I knew I hadn't done anything. But it was bugging me who the hell had. Not good. But yeah, it's funny how that, I mean, if I was personally going to do that, I'd have emptied the fucking place and been on a plane somewhere hot and without an extradition treaty. That's how you do that, innit, Bobby Crush? And trust me, Ratners, well, you'd have needed a bloody jumbo jet for, wouldn't you? But yeah, it wasn't many boxes, so I don't know what was in those particular ones because it didn't always say, I had one opened in front of me. That's how I knew there was trays in there. The guy opened it in front of me and said, "This is how it is. There's a tray, and it has 10 pieces on it, or it's a tray, and if it's rings, it's 20 rings." So that's how I knew how it was done. It was the size of the tray, the box, and then all done with laser sort of identifiers, stuff like that. But yeah, I think anybody that's going to do something like that, they do a proper job, really, don't they? Because it ain't going to make much difference, in the escape. But I wouldn't have done that to the guys. The guys, they started from nothing. The kids that have that shop fitting firm, they've done well for themselves. They're Europe wide. They've got loads of major contracts. They just met at college originally, doing joinery or whatever it was, and then on sites, and then they did a pub for somebody, one of their relatives. They did a pub out that somebody had bought, a pub that had gone out of business, but they did it completely out, and it had a restaurant and this and that, and it's world renowned now. But the place was so high quality, they went to town on it, like wood and like all the bars and things like that, the rooms, the little snug areas and places to meet people, and it's a hell of a place. I've been there once, and what a meal I had as well, Jesus! And I didn't pay a penny for it. Invited there, and it was they won awards for it. They won 5 or 6 awards, and then that created interest from the big pub chains, not just freeholds or free house. It created a lot of interest from the big pub chains. They started doing pubs, did a lot of pubs to begin with, and I did a lot of cellars for them. Like created a cellar into a kitchen on one occasion, made the kitchen bigger and actually went into the cellar a bit, um, and then so the cold food bit could be done in the cellar, and then made the cellar like so it could be done in a certain way, damp proofed it, all the rest of it, and that was one of the first jobs I did for him, and then because I'd met one of them on a job, that was how that started, and then I done quite a few for him, probably about 5, and then all the time they'd be getting hold of me, and I said, look, really, I can't really do much through the summer, but if you got me in mind, winter months from September onwards, I'm with you. And they were getting me, and I was getting crews of bloody painters, crews of damp guys, crews of flipping, all different people that I knew were getting good work, and they paid well. They were good, and they'd always give the lads. They put a good effort in. Always give them 5, 6, 7, 8 hours extra. The lads that were doing it on the hourly. They'd always put more hours on their week. Hell of a firm. Europa Shop Fitters. Yeah, good guys, man. Good guys. Done a lot of different bits and pieces with them, not just to do with work like that. So I don't know where Galvin is. Is he coming back? Is he not? I don't know. Let's give him a little tinkle. He's a coming, people. We'll give it another 20 minutes. Yeah, Galvin's good stuff. So who's in here now? Comment, please. It'd be nice to know who's in. There he is.
How are you, man?
I'm alright, man. I'm alright.
There it
I
is.
just wasn't sure whether you dropped up or something,
No. Just once you start doing
You
one
do
thing,
you, mate, yeah? You do you. If you get tired or whatever, and
yeah. No
you've
worries.
got
No
graft
worries.
tomorrow,
No,
you got to
yeah.
do you.
Yeah. No,
And wherever you go, whatever you want to do, you do that. It
yeah.
just
Thanks for saying that, man. No, I said I'd come back and I
no, man.
would just
Listen,
for a bit today.
you got to enjoy the medium, yeah. I
Yeah,
do the same, yeah. It doesn't
yeah,
matter, but as long as we keep each other informed,
yeah. Big time, man.
so we know that's all good.
Yeah,
It doesn't. It's no bother to me whatsoever. But
yeah,
obviously, it's nice to have a guest on
yeah.
and all the rest of it.
Absolutely.
and
One
whatnot.
who
I think
doesn't
Eddie's
fall
dropped
asleep.
off.
You hear that, Eddie?
Huh?
Yeah,
One who
Eddie's
doesn't
about.
fall asleep.
Yeah, he's had a draining day, mate. I can tell. I know Eddie Gannon enough to
Yeah.
know that's worked him a bit that today.
Well, it's becoming very mysterious. I'd love to ask, but I don't know fucking like.
Well, it just between. I mean, let him explain.
Well, suffice to say, it's between two people that, and one in particular, like they discussed it on like in their house, and things went a bit south, and
They were having a big
now
fight. She was telling
like
me.
a lady and her son is out in the street now. So
What?
Exactly.
There's there was a moody today, and it's ended with.
suffice to say, it's a fucked up situation anyway.
Yeah, but did I just hear that right? That there's a lady and her child are homeless because of what happened today.
Yeah.
It's like
Man,
stuff like that. You
she
see,
was
that
telling
drains you, mate.
she was telling an awful lot of lies anyway. And
Right.
she was using things like, I mean, she was kind of exploiting them a little bit.
Okay, and the reason why she might necessarily have somewhere to put her head this evening is because it's something that she's done herself and not something someone else has done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. Okay, I got the wrong end of the stick there for a minute. That's all.
So that type of thing really does kind of weigh you down a bit, doesn't it? Being in the, trying to mediate.
Well, especially when you just want to
Like
turn
that.
on your computer for a bit of
I've had a bit of it.
Especially when you like the two of them, But,
Yeah,
I mean,
you like and fortunately it wasn't really bad, was it, Eddie? You said, but still, you're in the middle of it, and that can affect you. I felt that kind of thing.
Well, when you're dealing with it for about fucking 20, like for that damn near 24 hours, it's
Was it that long?
yeah, I was, yeah.
Freaking hell, mate. Yeah, I think sometimes you gotta think yourself a bit as well, aren't you, Galvin?
Absolutely, man. Jesus, do you know what I was only
That's a
thinking.
long time. I didn't realise it was that, Eddie. You never told me that bit, mate. You see, and without bigging you up, mate, too much, without embarrassing you, you're a good soul, mate. Yeah, I know that, and it's like, but sometimes you have to think of yourself a little bit because you are a little bit down to your normal self, isn't he, Calvin?
Yeah, Eddie. I mean, you're a lovely fella. I only met you through Marshall, any friend of Marshall and all that, but you don't sound in the best, buddy. And I don't want to keep
No,
fucking asking you.
I
You
can
know.
see it, mate. I know Eddie very well, yeah, and let me tell you, no, he'd been very
Well,
loyal.
I was trying to do a good thing,
Yeah, and I know that, but you got to think
Well,
yourself a little bit as well, mate. You've got
weakness for
your
kindness,
life.
Eddie. That kind of buzz, was it?
Huh?
Someone took your weakness for kindness.
Well, you're just trying to
Well,
help along, weren't you? Really, it's like
it was.
Sorry,
I
I beg
mean,
your pardon,
all I could do was like
Eddie. I
suggest,
got that
but
wrong. It's yeah.
there was like the bloke, his weakness what was taken for kindness,
Yeah, no, I got that wrong. I think the expression is they took your kindness for weakness. If you
Like,
know
I
you
what I
just
mean,
don't like to
mean.
see it between
Yeah.
friends, do you, Eddie? It's like same as
yeah.
anything. It's like fucking hell. But I didn't realise. You see, I'd have told you off for that before. You never told me it gone on like that.
Yeah, that
Too long,
sounds
mate.
crazy.
Too long for your own psyche. You got your own
Yeah.
stuff. You have to then think yourself a bit, yeah. But anyway, that's all said and done. But and it's cool. I love helping people out. I love trying to be loyal and all the rest of it. But sometimes when it's really affecting your psyche, you got to just pull back a wee bit. And I hate it doing it myself. Hate it, because I was always the first to try and be there, and But listen, I realised, I must admit, I'm going through extreme times, but I've realised that sometimes you have to try and preserve a bit for yourself.
Look after number one, Cool Tools, basically, don't
Well,
you?
no,
Sometimes.
it isn't quite like as ruthless as that, Galvin.
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
in a way, you've got to just when you go, because I didn't know he'd done fucking all that time like that. Being in the middle of something, that's draining. I don't care who you are. That's mentally draining, isn't it? Look at him.
Yeah.
He's down. I know he's down a little bit, yeah, and that's affected him. And when it starts affecting you like that, I think you just got to pull back.
I mean, all I can do was suggest like a certain situation to help them out. If they didn't want to follow it, like that was up to them.
Yeah. But no, I
There's not
commend you,
like
Eddie.
I mean, after that, there's nothing you can do really.
No, that's it. There's only so much you can do, especially on this medium, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's not always opportunity, is there? And to do maybe what all that you'd want to do. I felt that a few times, but some people don't even. I think sometimes some people are quite ungrateful. Can you hear me good, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
I think sometimes some people are ungrateful when some people put a lot of effort into helping, helping a situation, because it can affect you quite bad. I mean, I've been in the middle of a few bits and pieces, but yeah, it's
Well,
you
you,
know,
you don't think when you switch your computer on that it's going to be as stressful as it can get.
unbelievable, isn't it, mate? Come on,
Excuse me. Yeah.
there's people getting death threats and all that, and I don't wish ill on anyone, but sometimes some people can make their own bed, and in a way, but still, you should be getting that type of pressure through a fucking device. Should you really?
Yeah.
No matter
No.
who you
No.
are, no matter friend, foe, whatever, you shouldn't be getting that type of pressure, whether it be, whatever reason, through goddamn device that you have in your house. But
Yeah.
it can be like that, can't it?
Well, when you go show as much as I fucking did, Jesus Christ. I mean,
Yeah, well, I don't think you best. Well, you do what you want, Eddie, but I think it's
it's
probably
so
better
fucking
if
draining. But
you,
I
didn't
mean,
talk about that too much. But that's
I
up
mean,
to you,
it's
mate.
not
That's up
something
to you.
you'd like to fucking discuss on a fucking live anyway.
Do you know what, Eddie? If you, I'll meet you for a coffee someday during the week, Thursday or Friday, if you want to have an old natter face to face.
Um,
I live in Dublin.
yeah, I'll meet you on Thursday because like I have a good bit of like I have a gathering on Friday.
Right. Well, look,
So
you have my number, so eh, give give us a shout, or I'll give you a shout and make some concrete arrangement because I'm gonna hit the lab now in the next 5 minutes. I am bollocks to be honest with you,
Yeah,
but
I
yeah,
thought that was gonna happen anyway. Me too. I'm ready for it. Yeah,
yeah. But Eddie, yeah. I'll talk to you before Wednesday, Eddie, and I'll meet you at lunchtime for a coffee or something.
that'd be
yeah,
nice.
sure,
Yeah. All right,
yeah,
great. Look
okay, yeah,
forward to it. And Cool Tools, your wagon. I'll talk to you. Well, I won't talk to you tonight. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah,
And
don't worry
anyone
about
in the
me.
chat tonight, especially Bobby, if you're still awake and making people smile. And
Yeah, whoever's in, thanks for coming, Galvin. It was nice you
yeah.
to turn up
All right. Okay.
eventually.
See you. Good night,
yeah.
lads.
Good night, Bella,
Huh?
and good night,
Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna end
Yeah.
it now.
Tim. Good night from the other fella, and it's good night for me. So.
To everybody there, thank you. And thanks, Eddie. Thanks, Galvin. And good night. And God bless.